So I'm going to click the cogwheel in the upper right-hand corner and click Edit View. Now this is for our review-based view. So now we're using fields for this, right? But the fields that we have available to us are the ones associated with the review, not the product. So if we want to use the individual product fields, what do we need to do? I'll give you just a second to think about it. Okay, you're absolutely right. We need a relationship. So we have to connect our review over to the product in order to use fields. So this is interesting. By switching over to using fields in this view, it becomes just as complicated to build this view in terms of the configuration as it did to build our product-based view. So if you're choosing one type of view over the other based on the degree of complication in the configuration process, now they're about equal if we're using fields. Okay, so again, the fields that we have available to us, if we clicked Add, would only be associated with this particular node. So we'll have to go ahead and create a relationship. So I'm going to click Add, and we'll do a search for product. So again, we have a referenced entity and a referencing entity for our entity reference. Now this time, the base node that we're working with for this view is a review. So what we want more information about is the referenced node, which is the product. So instead of clicking referencing entity, which we did before, we're going to check referenced entity. And then I'll click Apply All Displays. And we'll rename this identifier referenced product. And we'll check require this relationship, although just like before, there really shouldn't be more than a one-to-one relationship here. So I'll click Apply All Displays. So now the fields that we have available to us include the product ones as well. So if we click Add, and let's do a search for image. So we have two node-based fields in the view mode that we've been using, the image and the body from our product. And then the title about this product was actually a third field that we created through Display Suite. So we'll have to recreate that in some way through views. But for now, let's focus on the image and the description. So here we have content image, and this is found in node article and node product. So the product one is the one we want. We'll check this, and we'll check Apply All Displays. And here at the top, we can set a relationship. So this time, we want to use the referenced product rather than the review that this view is based off of. We'll uncheck Create a Label because we don't want a label above the image. For the formatter, we'll leave this at image. It's the only option available to us. And for image style, we're going to use sidebar like we did in our view mode. And we'll leave the link image to nothing for now. In the future, we may want to change that. We'll leave everything else the same and click Apply All Displays. Now for our fields, let's go ahead and remove this product reference, which was the view mode. So I'm going to click that and select Remove. And now let's do a quick preview. So before we used the NIDs 10 and 11, they may be different in your installation depending on if you did some playing around with other nodes. I'm going to click Update Preview, and if we scroll down, we'll see the image for the box. So 10 was the NID associated with the box, so that's good. And then 11 was the one associated with the unicorn meat. So I'll put in 11 and click Update Preview, and we get unicorn meat. So that looks good. Next, let's go ahead and add our body field. So here next to fields, I'll click Add, and I'll do a search for body. All right, here it is, content body. I'll check it and click Apply All Displays. Again, we're going to use a relationship to the referenced product. We'll not create a label. We'll leave the formatter at its default. You see we can choose plain text, trimmed, or summary or trimmed. And then I'll check Apply All Displays. And if we scroll down and look at our preview here, we have our image and our description. So there's a number of ways we can get the About This Product title across the top. The first thing we can do is actually use the block title, which we've hidden using the blocks configuration page. So we'd need to get that back, and then we could use that as the title. We can also rewrite the output of the image field to include a title above, or we can even use a module called Views PHP, which will allow us to create a custom field and put anything in it in Views. For now, let's go ahead and use the default block title since that's simplest. So I'm going to scroll up to the top here, and for this title, I'm going to cut this out and rename it About This Product. I'll click Apply All Displays. And then for the block name, I'll go ahead and paste in what that original title was so we can use this as an administrative title. So it says Product Related to Review, Review Based. And I'll click Apply. And now if we go ahead and save this, I'll click Save. You see we have our image and our description, but not our title because it's currently being hidden through the blocks configuration page. And we'd have to re-enable it in blocks, re-enable our title, and then disable it in blocks to use context in order to display the block. So we'll go ahead and just leave this as is for now. And let's scroll down and edit this next view.